All right, everyone, we should be live. Keep in mind, of course, I have to make sure that's actually the case. So give me a moment. I'm doing the best I can. Got to check Twitch because you never know with them. Yes, indeed, I'm live on Twitch. Should be live on Rumble. That takes a little while to process, so give me a moment here. The whole stream is just me sitting here staring at the screen, of course. No, don't worry. I'll get to super chats and stuff. There is already, by the way, a super chat on YouTube. Wait just a moment for more people to filter in. I got to make sure that, yeah, of course, Rumble says the server URL or stream key is invalid. Yeah. How do I edit it on here, actually? We will have to edit this. That's a big problem. That would be a problem. Come on, you can do it. You're not actually having a problem streaming. You know that's horse shit. It's trying to process. Just a second here. I figured this would happen. Oh, actually, I might be live on a different link entirely. That would be hilarious. I don't think so, though. I think it's my problem. Ready to share. Monetization pending. Oh, come on. I know that I put in the right server information. That's not the problem. So, of course, it's... Come on. You know you want to be live. It doesn't want to be live. Oh, God. A great man once said, sometimes you can be bitten by a dog even when you're riding a camel. Let me see. Yeah. Sorry, Rumble. I have no clue where it's trying to broadcast to. All right. We're going to have to restart this. Refund your super chats if you can, but just quickly, I'll go through them. Chad Harris, is the 2,000 Mules film by Dinesh D'Souza a nothing burger? Never seen it, so I don't know. JJ Lovecraft, hi Styx, much love from Texas. Thank you for the love. HF, definitely missed having your vids in the AM. Keep on rocking, Styx. Absolutely. And Khalid Cooper, congrats on the pregnancy. Clank, thank you very much, Khalid, by the way. I don't know how to proceed here because I have no clue what I did wrong with regards to Rumble, actually. I put in the information and it's not working. Let me check one more time. I'm really hoping that it's live, but I don't think that it is. Unfortunately, I don't think that there's any way for me to rectify the situation. Let me check this really quickly. Yeah, there's no way on fucking... Okay, if I remove the destination, can I add a destination? Can I do that? Maybe it'll send it to Rumble now? See, I don't know because I don't know which one it's trying to send to. Technical difficulties, of course. Okay, this one is showing up. I put in the right info. We're having trouble streaming to it. Okay, that's clearly not going to work. I'm going to have to fiddle with the destination entirely here. You got to be kidding me. Like I don't have anything else to do. Okay, we're going to delete both of those. If they'll delete. Now watch, we'll run into a problem with this. I'm learning on the fly. I'm doing the best that I can. Andy Van de Linde. Joe Rogan was offered $100 million by Rumble. Do you think that is a good move? Yes, I do. A good move by Rumble. They get attention, number one, which is great. Almost 72,000 people, by the way, following me there. I'd love to have a live stream on Rumble right now, but I've got to delete these first. I'm going to try to set it up. I'm going to see if I can set this up while I'm already broadcasting. So people on Rumble, they don't see the first 10 minutes of it maybe, but let me see if I can do this. Okay, that should be set up. I got to put in the title info and everything here. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm having streaming difficulties. Moment. Stream is Styxhexenhammer right now. Okay. It's going straight to Rumble. It's not personal use. Now, the streaming configuration is here. I know how to do that. Slightly low tech. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I can open a different iteration of StreamYard. Will that fuck everything up or something? We're going to see if this works. Oh, no, I don't want to remove it. I want to stream URL. Oh, okay, it was using the wrong slot, I think. Oops. Okay. Okay, hopefully we'll be streaming on Rumble now in a minute. Hopefully. But yeah, I made my thoughts on Rumble, actually. I did a New Tech exclusive today about that subject. I would be hesitant to believe that Joe Rogan will take the offer. And the main problem is that if he's getting 100 million from Spotify, he can switch over and get 100 million from Rumble, potentially. I mean, I think their money's good. That's not the problem. The problem is that presumably in the contract, which we don't know the full details of, if they can delete his content, probably they can also penalize him if he ends the contract early. That'd be a problem. A tax collector, did you hear about the China-Russia pact against the West? Sounds like Warsaw all over again. Same nonsense. We'll see if we're live now. It seems to be taking on StreamYard, so we'll see. I still don't know that I'm live. I'm hoping that I am. Oh, yay. We're finally live, I think, on Rumble. Yay. Okay. Yeah, we're live on Rumble now. So we'll see how many people are tuning in there. Hi, Styx, says Range Queen on Rumble. Hello, hello. Yeah, Boomer Styx. No, it's not Boomer Styx. It's more you have to start the live stream and then you have to get the streamer configuration, and Rumble changes it constantly. It's not static like it can be. Like with Odyssey and stuff, it's static. With Rumble, they change it, I guess, every day or something like that. Over 1,000 people already watching. We're already above 3 Biden loser units, which is very, very important. The Arcadian 300. I'm in Ottawa for the week. The working class rural prairie people are the sweetest I've ever met. Children playing on bouncy castles. Damn extremists. Yeah, that seems to be a thing. There's a lot of hypocrisy I've noticed with the trucker protests, the Freedom Convoy. The same people that are complaining about the honking inconveniencing them wouldn't dare to say anything if people were throwing Molotov cocktails in the name of social justice. They wouldn't say a thing. They'd be afraid of being called bigoted. Salt Nest Monster, love your Westy dog statue. That's actually Liz's dog statue there. It's Morkie-esque, and she really likes Morkies, so I got that for her. But it was originally over to the side. The problem is it was behind some plants because they need the light, so we put it in the backdrop. Raging Patty, Styx, thanks for all you do. I want to do a lot more. I've had some, like I warned about when I announced that myself and, well, Liz technically was pregnant. There will be some service interruptions. Of course, you get scheduling things, you got appointments to go to. So, yeah. Crowbars 357. We got a great big convoy. Ain't she a beautiful sight? I get the reference, by the way, to the trucker song. That's actually a really good song. If you like that kind of music, what was it? Leonard Nimoy, who was Spock on Star Trek, actually, he did some sort of song once, and he had sort of a similar voice, and it was kind of that balladeer mid-70s style, only with a little bit of the Bowie, Gary Glitter style glam behind it. You might like that. I can't remember what the name of the song was, but look up Leonard Nimoy singing or something like that. By the way, when Leonard Nimoy died, I did a video about that. I don't give a fuck about Star Trek or Star Wars or any of these other fandom nonsensical things, but I did care. He was the voice behind the In Search Of material, actually, in the 70s, and I think into 1980 and 81, as well as Ancient Mysteries, much more meaningful to me. Matthew Phillips, where's Waldo? More's like, where's Trudeau? Or where's Trudeau Castro? If you believe his possible Cuban communist roots. Ottawa libs won't enjoy avocado toast this week. Keep on trucking. Yeah, they've got an avocado shortage now. That's why they're bitching about it. RevX, do you think the Brandon admin has been a kind of necessary event to wake up independents and other groups who took Trump for granted? That's one way of spinning it. Yeah, that's possible. They are waking up, if polling is any indicator. By the way, we should probably talk about that really quickly. Beyond the Joe Rogan thing, he has been offered a contract by Rumble, where I'm live, by the way. I don't think that he'll take it. Cautious optimism that there's a possibility. He'd be taking a pay cut, technically, at least short term, because there's, I'm sure, a rider attached to his contract that penalizes him if he goes out early on Spotify. Clearly, they had no problem inserting a rider that said we can take down your episodes at a moment's notice. He signed off on that. So as far as that, he might have said, well, the money's good. They won't penalize me. They won't try to silence me or water down my content. But beyond that, we do have to talk about Biden's polling. I'm seeing a floor for him for the first time at roughly 40 to 41% approval, which, by the way, is a pretty low floor in a hyperpartisan climate. So he should not be happy about that. But it looks like there's some upswelling. That is, that there's pressure upwards when he gets near there, and he just sort of bounces around between 40, 41, 42. I will be reporting on that tomorrow. I think he's at a soft polling floor, which means you need more problems to shove him down further, actually. So apparently, and partially because of legacy media propaganda, you need more than 7+% inflation. I'm sure we'll get new numbers soon. We may already have them. I've been a little bit out of the loop for a couple of days. I've been busy doing other things like real world stuff. New inflation numbers could help to shove them down, and probably will, although it's not necessarily permanent. You could have a war, certainly something over Ukraine, but I think that his soft floor has been reached. Again, the good news for him is that his soft floor exists. That is, that there's a partisan element that will still support him even when things are not going well. The bad news for him, of course, is that he's already at that limit, and any further problems shoves him down below that. Once you lose that, the soft floor, you typically do not regain it unless things go really well, like Trump did. His floor was technically lower, but that was because of a wall-to-wall 24/7 propaganda cycle. He managed to regain much more than that floor. Can Biden do the same? I don't think he can. I don't think there's anything that Biden can do at this point to save his presidency. FU2 10.5, you suggested truckers get together in 2021, you wizard. Did I? I forgot about that one. Drew McTighe, bonus bucks for Styx. What's your prediction for the New York Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin Supreme Court case? If that's the one that involves concealed carry permitting, they win. I don't think that the concealed carry may issue licensing will stand. I think SCOTUS will go 6-3 against it. Mr. Wonderful, Alex Jones is trying to get Rogan to move to his operation to the InfoWars platform. What a sweet victory that would be. Google took zero cut from this. I don't think he'll move to InfoWars. I think it would be better if Alex Jones branches out more into new tech. And this is what I said, and people may remember this one. When Rogan first inked the contract with Spotify, I said it was a mistake. He would be better off going with new tech, diversifying and broadening his platform out. That is, he should be on Rumble, which is now optioning him. He should be on BitChute. He should be on Odyssey. He should have branched out onto all these platforms, and he should have talked about them more. When you have that kind of audience, when you have millions or tens of millions of people watching you, you have a de facto bully pulpit that defies the ability of people to censor you. All you have to do is go to platforms and say you're there and use the existing platforms. Imagine if Joe Rogan, for example, not Alex Jones, but Rogan. Imagine that he were to go to Rumble and BitChute and all these others. He gets on Minds. And then he tells people on Spotify, hey, I'm on these platforms. Well, I mean, if he's already going to cut himself out of the contract and he's already going to get penalized, he might as well use a show to do that, right? It would be the ultimate fuck you. And it would bring millions of people to these platforms. He would immediately be the PewDiePie of all of these platforms. Why not? If he's going to take a loss, and he already is, cut the attrition, tell Spotify to fuck themselves, and do what I said you should do and immediately, which is get on new tech. They're not going to charge you anything. There's no rider or anything. Now you've got new tech trying to pay you to get aboard, to sweeten the deal even further. I'm super drunk. Tuesday streaming. You must be drunker than me. Cheers. No, actually, I've done my drinking thing in the past, and my drug thing, and my smoking thing, every other thing, and now I am sober. I'm doing it on Tuesday because I couldn't do it on Sunday. John Christian, I love your ability to articulate your thoughts without a teleprompter. I'm truly envious and wonder if it's a developed skill or something you were born with, or both. Peace out. Well, if you go through my oldest videos, I could do like the speaking thing already without notes and stuff, but I've gotten better at it. Certainly practice does make perfect in that sense. It's not something that you're born with. There are some people that claim to be born with skills, but you still have to practice them. JD 1989, Styx, congratulations on the little one. What are the odds of impeachment after the midterms? Impeachment is possible, removal unlikely. Now, that's because you need a considerable majority in the Senate. The Republicans are likely to take the Senate. They're not likely to take enough seats to be able to successfully remove Biden from office. I would admonish them not to bother even impeaching him if they don't have the votes. Even though he clearly is derelict in his duty, he should be removed. If you don't have the votes in a partisan game and can't get rid of them, what you should do is craft legislation, craft things that are simplistic that people support, get them through the House and Senate, and let him veto them, and he'll take attrition. He'll lose more and more support. Take the Democrats' basic idea, like, I hate to give him credit, but Cornine's actually on this too. Have you heard of the Fresh Start Act with regards to student loan debt? Initially, years ago, you could declare bankruptcy on student loans. It wasn't necessarily that you would be granted it, but you could potentially get out of your student loans by proving undue hardship, like you can with business or any other debt that you have. The Democrats under Obama got rid of that. Obama fucked tens of millions of millennials in the ass by doing this. The Republicans have sponsored an act that would reallow bankruptcy proceedings for student loans. Push it forward if you gain the House and Senate in the midterms, and dare Joe Biden to cancel it. And then if he brings up, well, I would rather have just forgiven the student loan debt. Oh boy, would that be bad. Well, why didn't you do that? You had the House and you had a narrow majority in the Senate, and Romney would have voted for it, so it wouldn't have been a problem, but you did nothing. They can corner him. Let him paint himself into a corner. He's already doing that anyway. John Matthew, a small donation for your diaper fund. Buy now, be prepared. Yeah, those are expensive. I helped to babysit for my niece actually years ago, and they go through a lot of diapers. Johnny D. Smithson, what material do you recommend for white magic spells? I'm not a believer, just want to dabble, but play it safe. Girlfriend is superstitious Catholic. Well, magic is magic, so don't limit yourself. And if she's a superstitious Catholic, then she already believes in magic anyway. So it's all evil magic if you're part of Judeo-Christendom. What I would say is white magic. Look up the Book of Ceremonial Magic by A.E. Waite. Most of that's white magic. If you want the white ceremonial magic, you can just get the not the Grand Grimoire, the Greater Key of Solomon. That's Mathers and so forth, working with that. It's not technically fully white magic, but it branded itself as that way. That's typically what white magic is. You're not always just healing people with herbs or something. It's not Wicca, but it tells you that it's white magic. So you can take it to the bank. It's all good. The sortilege. How much did radio fight when they were fighting against being replaced by TV? I'm asking because I'm trying to figure out if the lamestream media is repeating history. Well, they didn't technically lose out to TV because you can't have a TV in your car. Radio still is a big thing. It's just that terrestrial radio got so dumbed down, much like TV is now, that it's having problems. This is why Sirius initially existed. Stern moved to satellite radio, and the rest was history. The internet is not quite the same. The ability of sites and services to promote themselves and to develop alternative means to fundraise, which is important if you want to put material out there, is greater on internet than it is on cable. Where if you have a physical cable actually connected to the home to give you TV, you don't have to have that in order to have cell service and things like this. I would say that the App Store duopoly is more of a threat to society, arguably, than every other form of net censorship, because so many people use smartphones now. I hate smartphones. I'm sitting here, I've got my 4K screen and a laptop and shit like that. I love that side of the internet. I'm a millennial, goddammit, not one of you Zoomers. Pansexual, non-binary, binary Orthodox Christian. I was going to visit Boston in June, but they have vaccine mandates for restaurants and museums. I wonder if this will be rescinded soon. Massachusetts? Hell no, they'll probably keep it forever. I wouldn't bother. I'd go to somewhere better. Go to New Hampshire. Tom BGD McMorrow. Danny and Patrick are fatties. Pound Sand, chonk boys. I don't know who those are, but okay. The Cancer Man. Did you leave corn cobs on Ralph's door, Styx? I don't know where Ralph lives. Vasidius. Listen to 2 of the Michael Malice episodes that got yanked. Joe dropped the hard R N-word. Ironic given that it was mentioned during a discussion about Papa John and a Netflix exec being fired when they used the N-word. Yeah, it's constant. But again, wait till these people discover that Howard Stern exists. I suppose he's glad that he peaked 10 years earlier, or now 15 or 20, but that he fell out of relevance sooner because people aren't looking back through his episodes. Otherwise, Sirius would be the most protested company in U.S. history. Prince Charming, should rap videos be flagged for language? Isn't non-enforcement of their use of the magic word a violation of fair treatment? No, that would be taking up the Ring of Sauron to destroy Mordor. I don't believe in flagging them at all. I don't care if they say racial slurs, sexist things. You look at 90s rap, fucking Eminem's entire career began talking about, I think, dumping his then ex-wife or girlfriend or something in the trunk of a car off of a dock. I don't give a shit. It's just music. It's creative. Crimson the Original, enjoy an energy drink on me. Fan since 2015. That will buy several energy drinks, several of which are behind me, actually. I had to restock them. I drained my supply the other day, actually. Stephanie Walter. I use YouTube because it can play in the background while using other apps. This is the feature that makes it difficult to move to other platforms. Do any of the other platforms you use have this feature? I think Rumble does background playing, I think. People have mentioned it. I think it does. I don't know. See, I don't really do the app side of the internet. I just, go to the web page. I'm sitting here on an actual laptop with a, an external screen. I don't really use my smartphone for anything other than 4chan and waiting rooms. And then it's just a shitpost. Mr. Twisted Frenzy, if Brandon does get kicked out or retired before 2024, will this be a good thing or bad thing for Trump's re-election? Neither. It depends on whether it's health related. I think if Biden is 25th or resigns and says, well, might have another aneurysm or something, that's bad for Trump because he'll be the same age running in 24 that Biden was in the prior election. That would be a problem. Not a problem insofar as an actual problem, but an optical one. The legacy media will take it up and run with it and say, well, we need an age cap on presidential candidates. We need somebody. We know that we promoted the dude that was geriatric before, but we need someone younger this time. And it'll be obvious why they're doing that, but it would be something that they would do. For other purposes, if he just resigns without comment, no, I don't think it hurts Trump at all. Wayward Swall, $5 to talk about the cute fluff ball to your right for a minute. Who actually has absconded? They have now a kitty thing that hangs on the radiator, and Yana loves it. She's up there most of the day. Right next to the heat. F YouTube 10.5. Gas prices are hitting $5 in LA and $6 in Hollywood. Yes, I hear they are still rising. So much for Biden taking care of that problem. But the thing is, it was only briefly in the news, so people don't still see it as a problem unless it tangibly is like, hey, I lose money going to work. What about that Biden unemployment check I was promised? Oh, shit. Now I got to purposely get fired from my job. Alex Alo, do you think Tim Pool is being hypocritical with Rogan because they are friends? Compare his stance for everyone else. He says, no one should ever back down, always hold strong. You are weak if you don't. I would agree with the Tim Pool that says you should never apologize. Apologizing to the leftoid lynch mob is a bad idea. Joe Rogan, well, he semi-apologized. I guess I'll give Tim Pool this, and I haven't seen what Tim Pool said, so I'll just assume this is his basic gist. Rogan didn't technically apologize. He gave a half-hearted, well, he's going to understand people are kind of pissed off. I'll do better. It's non-committal. If that's what he's going with, it's a stretch, but I'll go with it. I like Tim Pool. I like Joe Rogan. Fuck, when I was as a millennial, as a kid with your family, one of the best fucking things you could watch was Fear Factor. Joe Rogan got his beginning by forcing people to eat like tentacles. Weird shit. I would love to go on Joe Rogan's podcast, by the way, because I could mention the fact that he inspired me to try buffalo testicles, arguably the weirdest thing that I've ever eaten. And by the way, not anywhere close to the worst. If cooked properly, it probably tastes like a fairly good steak. I think the way my family cooked it, isn't fucking baking it with a little pepper and tears because this is New England style. I thought it tasted a little bit like a cube steak if it weren't so tough. No, it's palatable. It's not great, but it's not terrible. If I had been on that show, if I had made it to the gross out stun, I definitely would have been the winner. Let me put it that way. I could have gotten my whatever $50,000 or whatever they were giving out at the time. Thanks to Bidenomics, now worth about $5. But then, after you've eaten the rotten testicles and the, fermented rooster cowl or something, now you can get a Big Mac to wash it down. Acoustic Groove 56. Stocking up on essentials for when our U.S. truckers join the movement. Coming soon to highways all across America. Freedom. Yes, and by the way, if there is indeed going to be a big-time trucker protest, learn from the mistakes in Canada. Make sure that there's plenty of shit available beforehand so that it doesn't get exhausted when the government comes in and surreptitiously tries to get rid of the supply line for things like diesel fuel. That'll be at a premium. They'll probably attempt to use the court system illegally or extra legally to try to prevent people from helping them like they are in Canada. It's not working particularly well, but that's what they're doing. And so you need to make sure that that's on hand beforehand. Out-organize them. The leftoids are terrible at this, by the way. If the truckers were waving BLM flags and throwing Molotovs at Wendy's, none of the people complaining about the honking would have a problem. White magic. We were banned by Wicca for being racist. Yeah, the term white magic, I imagine at some point will, and this is not a joke, will be subject to the cancel culture thing. Black magic? What, are you saying that black is a bad thing? Skips, have you played War of Rights? No, I've never even heard of it. Quantum football, will you name a daughter Sally or a son Jimmy to match the names of your hypothetical kids you bring up in your videos? We're not mentioning the name. That's out of security reasons. I figure that our daughter has the right to be private and also have the right to be a kid. Like, a kid should not be internet adjacent. If you have a family-friendly G-rated channel or something, like, oh, here's my kid, they're playing with a toy, it's awfully cute, they're grabbing their feet. That's one thing. I'm not a family channel. Styxhexenhammer 666 is not a family brand. And so I'm not interested in having my daughter aboard my content. Neither is Liz. And we've agreed upon that from day one. That won't happen. And so I'm not even going to give out the name because should she get older, her name is out there. She has the right to live a normal life, decide what she wants to do in the future. And I think it's terrible. I think it's crazy when people are talking about their kids every day. They're associated with an edgy brand, or at least a non-family brand, and they're giving out all their information about their kids. And it's like, do you want stalkers? Do you want somebody to show up with duct tape and a butcher's knife at your house? I'm sorry, it shouldn't be that way, but there are lunatics out there. Genuine, real lunatics, like the kind that you would see in a Hollywood movie. Jägerbomb 2, I'm starting to hope that Ukraine is just a wag the dog. You think Biden would be stupid enough to start war to save his pathetic administration? Not start an out-and-out war with Russia, because it's impossible, but he's definitely stoking the conflict. He's already done that. By the way, we have a chat on Rumble, actually. And by the way, almost 600 people watching on Rumble. So thank you to all of you. I will be getting to the super chats there as well. I've got to bounce back and forth between two tabs, so it takes a little longer. JZH for freedom. Greetings from San Francisco Bay Area. Oh, you poor dude. My daughter's high school asked parents' opinions on whether schools should implement ethnic study graduation requirements. It seemed that the masked name of CRT. Yes, that would be critical race theory rebranded. So you should vote no. You should give out my booklet, Critical Race Theory Debunked, to all of the other parents and make sure that they don't do that. And then you should contact the non-legacy media to talk about it, including me. You can always drop me news tips on Twitter, by the way, through DM, if they do implement such a thing, and I can pick through it, and I will try to help you. Branch Covidian-19, one of the major issues from SCOTUS ruling in favor of shall issue is reciprocity. Most may issue states and some of the strictest shall issue states only honor their own permits. Exactly. That's a big thing. The other big thing is that it's clearly constitutional to carry a weapon in public. This is not even debated. If the weapon is concealed, does it change the functionality of the weapon? What about the legality of weapons that cannot or can be concealed? There's another problem. I think that they'll go with shall issue. The problem is that then they will up the price 10, 20 times, which prices a lot of people out of getting the permit. Then they have to have a separate case, which nullifies that and transfers you to constitutional carry. I would be optimistic, but it will take years. So the Supreme Court, I hope, goes broad on this one, but it's always a pessimistic thing waiting for the Supreme Court to go broad. Usually they're very narrow in their language. Gladiator. Thoughts on the meltdown of Ethan Ralph? He has been wishing death on people and doxing and flagging them. Will you continue to associate with this vile person? He needs to stop drinking. Well, I mean, stopping drinking is always good for a person. I know very little about the situation. I've been on his material before. I'm not going to sit there and crucify the dude if I don't know the details. So if you consider him a vile person, point taken. I would need to get his side of the story as well. I go above the e-drama thing, and I've strenuously tried to avoid the e-drama thing for years now. I just can't do it. It's too, it's cringe almost. I don't care about people's personal lives. As far as me and making appearances, it's strictly professional. I know that Ethan Ralph has his demons, and I don't think that he denies this, by the way. But again, I'm not going to crucify the dude and say he's a bad person or anything like that. Not going to get into that. Tibbeth, congrats on the baby sticks. Quick question. What's your ideal mix of rural and urban as a place to live in percentages? I like that cusp between urban and rural. So you're within a short drive of the restaurant, but you're also right next to the woods. Like in Rutland, where we live in Rutland town, we're literally right on the edge of a little wooded area, and it's nice. It's developed, kind of. You're never more than a couple hundred yards from a road, so you can't get lost or anything, but it's wooded. That woods, in turn, is within walking distance, like a 30-minute walk of the Green Mountain National Forest, which is miles and miles and miles of completely uninterrupted, pristine terrain. Very mountainous, extremely rural, not even fucking campsites. That's sort of the place to be. And that's the way to raise a kid, too, by the way. You need gardens, but you also need the woods nearby that aren't garden, because you got to see nature in all of its glory with mushrooms and shit. Man, I love mushrooming. Catowin, what are your thoughts on cloned meat in our food supply? Seriously, this is a thing, and it isn't required to be labeled as such. Check FDA website. Well, I have split thoughts on this. As a 90s kid, showing my age, watching Jurassic Park and stuff, I'm hip on science. The idea of cloning things and fiddling around with them is cool. Again, an antiquated term, I'm sure by now. It's epic. It's a take the win or fucking whatever. The problem is I don't think I would want to eat cloned meat by choice because real meat is already available. What's the point? You're creating a product that already exists and it potentially takes more energy, more input to make it, and has a smaller potential audience of people that'll want it, driving the price up. This is what we see with bugs. Your kid will go out on the playground and eat bugs for free. That's fine. It's a protein source. People in third world countries eat bugs all the time. When you have a branding strategy and you have to label it, and when you have to coincide with FDA policy, most importantly, all of a sudden that handful of mealy worms that you can get for free under a rotting log costs $10. Now, there's going to be the problem with cloned meat. The Cancer Man, would you submit to the gun, Styx? I submit only to myself. I get the reference, but again, I'm not hip to the drama. I just don't care enough. John Hendy, familiar with the Polish death metal band Vader? I've heard of them. I like Polish death metal. I like the real hardcore black metal more than I like mainline death metal, though. I'm not exactly listening to Job for a Cowboy. Remember that from fucking high school. Again, showing your age a little bit. EB081997. Hey, Styx, any word about the documents seized at Mar-a-Lago? Haven't seen anything clear about it yet. Yes, apparently Trump supposedly removed papers from the White House improperly. He should have just done what the Clintons did and tried to steal the cutlery. So, yeah, maybe they give him a slap on the wrist or something. I'm not going to charge him with anything. What was that? Papers, notepads or something. Then they realize, oh, shit, those have the RFID trackers in them. Quick, we got to go to the Mar-a-Lago immediately. The Dashing Rogue. Do you think there's a connection? Drugs and sorcery. The Septuagint translates the Hebrew term sorcery to pharmakia in one-to-one translation. May the spice flow in the magical city of Amsterdam. Well, we're not in Amsterdam. We are literally on the other side of the country in Enschede. Drugs, yeah, they're related to sorcery. They're related to healing arts, number one. Certainly to meditation and things like that. I think that human spirituality basically began. I believe in the stoned ape theory as far as spirituality goes. Neanderthals realized certain plants made the colors go. And then they did it more and more. And eventually you got religion when other people said, hey, instead of you eating this amanita, puking up and hallucinating, I've realized I can eat it. I'll puke up and stuff. But then you drink my piss and you won't have to puke. All you have to do is drink my piss. That's, by the way the Siberian shaman work. Well, there would have been Neanderthals in the area, so we never know. Salty Ironworker, thank you for always educating, for seeing and explaining daily the shit show that we now live in. Congrats to the little one. Get your sleep now while you can. How do you see the Canada convoy playing out in the end? I don't know. It depends on what legal maneuvers they can pull. But if they don't have local support and they can't get the military involved, I don't see how they get all the truckers to leave. Like I said on my New Tech exclusive earlier, you know, there is such a thing as a boot. And if the truckers really wanted to, they could jettison their trucks in the streets and completely shut down the city for months. They could effectively paralyze the city. They wouldn't be alone. They could effectively do this in other cities as well. They have more than enough manpower. The problem, of course, of doing that is you turn off most of the population in so doing. Right now, though, you've got a situation where someone honks their horn, they get penalized for it. Makes no sense. Vulcan of Nocturne. The spirit of do not apologize is show no contrition. So even if JR didn't say sorry, the effect is the same. You mean Joe Rogan, not yeah, I would say don't apologize. I mean, the thing is, though, he is under contract, so he might have said, well, you know, they might kick me out at some point. I'll give a half-assed sort of explanation, say I'll do better in the future. Please leave me alone. It's a mistake, but it's one that a lot of people make. They try to talk their way out of things. Normally they can. Even if you're well-spoken like Joe Rogan is, generally you can't talk your way out of things. Can Scourge, your occult videos got me back into the Gosha. Hail Oribus, what are your more profound spiritual experiences? How does someone seek to have one? Mine I always had without seeking them. And I think that's the case for a lot of people. My most profound experience was seeing the archdemon Stolas as a little kid. And that led to much of my success and most of my work. By the way, please don't send any more super chats. I'm going to keep it short today. I may do another live stream actually tomorrow and back on Sunday for normal schedule probably. On the 22nd, I am planning an occult special as well as a special announcement with regards to politics. And of course, during the State of the Union, which I think is the 1st of March, I will be doing that as well. Vicidius, Odyssey and Rumble will play in the background on a phone. Just got to use the control on my headphones. YouTube tries to make you pay for the same. Not surprising. Ketchup, have you heard of What Faithlist? He's really cool. Or What If Althist? No, I haven't, actually. F YouTube 10.5. There's bizarre stories coming out of the Olympics. Athletes being quarantined, not able to compete, malnutrition, crying themselves to sleep. Like, what the fuck? It's in China. People would be stupid to go there for the Olympics or for anything else. Why is anyone attending? Why are there any delegations there? They should have just canceled the Olympics. Use COVID as an excuse. We don't want to have it in China. The virus came from there. Leave it at that. Mike L2535. Pants are growing as I watch the glorious hair flow off your shoulders. Yeah, freshly conditioned. Brian Petrofka, interesting subject for a cult episode. Portuguese poet and writer from the early 20th century. I don't know. Do you mean... No, you can't mean the Book of San Cipriano or something like that. I don't know exactly what you're referring to, but sorry about that. Kevin Murphy. Leftists only are reeing now to Rogan because the tape has compiled every instance of him saying the N-word out of context. Yeah, I know that is definitely out of context. Weird that they pretend like they never knew he said it before on a very popular podcast. Lol. Yeah, but do you think Neil Young is intelligent enough to have heard an episode of Joe Rogan? That's the whole point. I mean, even if you have millions of people watch your stuff, I've had a microcosm of this problem. I'll explain. Even if a huge number of people watch you, most people haven't. And so when you suddenly get 10 times more attention, 90% of those people have never heard a word that you said. Mostly, they don't even know that Joe Rogan did Fear Factor. They don't know anything about Joe Rogan, except for what they see on CNN. I've had this problem myself, is considerably smaller than Joe Rogan. People who aren't familiar with my content see one out-of-context clip posted by a shitlord on Twitter that comes from 2010 or something, and they think that's the end-all, be-all of my beliefs. Or they think that it's necessarily current and that I still believe it. And certainly with the occult, some of my spiritual beliefs, there are some people out there that think that I'm still a Satanist. Well, you know, there's no way to tell them otherwise because they've already been inoculated against the truth by propaganda. Brian Petrofka, Part 2, Fernando Pessoa, The Book of Disquiet. I'll look into that. The Arcadian 300, the Windsor-Detroit border crossing has been blockaded by truckers, the largest border crossing in North America. Well, hopefully they stay there. Hopefully they take some quick dry cement and cement their wheels into the asphalt. I'm just joking, YouTube. Don't worry. I'm not actually, I don't know, fomenting insurrection or whatever they're calling it now. Simple Logic 90, Black Pillars be gone. There is no need for you here anymore. Yes, take the white pill. Everything will be fine if you work for it. Be civically minded in your public life and be professionally minded in your personal life. Senile Zeke, Styx, congrats, you are a lucky bastard. You are the first content creator I started watching in 2016. Take care of family is number one. Yes, agreed. And thank you for the long-term support. J20s. Styx, what happened with January jobs report? One day it was 300,000 losses, even CNN covered it. The next day it was a 400,000 gain. How could both be true? Well, they can't. I'm not sure about those numbers yet. Neither is anyone else, but the Biden fans continue to pretend that, you know, the latter number is the automatically correct one. I'll wait and see the revision. I'm not 100% sure. Should probably get to a couple Twitch chats, but please don't send any more super chats cross-platform because I have to eat and use the bathroom at some point. Yeah, Captain Caveman 4201 on Twitch says Brandon's a nagger. Yeah, he nags people a lot. You'll notice this, actually. He's constantly berating people for doing things opposite what he says. Like when he has a speech, he'll rant endlessly. Oh, you should get vaccinated. And then he'll start off on a spiel. Sometimes it lasts 10 minutes. You can see Jen Psaki like this, desperately trying to get him to go away, talking about how they want to kill grandma. Sigil Stone 17, congrats on becoming a father. Was going to make a joke about your use of "we're pregnant," but apparently YouTube has a big problem with mentioning the Prince of Darkness. YouTube has a problem with everything nowadays. And one more on Rumble, actually. Sikian Chaser, hi Styx, just got in. I hope you and the family are doing well. Yes, everything at the moment is perfectly fine. The cats are comatose as well, which is always a good thing. Yeah, people talk about, "Ooh, when you have a baby, you'll never get any sleep." Oh, trust me. We already don't. We've got training. It's called Yana and Farah. So yeah, I may go live tomorrow, although don't quote me on that. It may or may not happen. May or may not even make videos tomorrow. Again, everything's touch and go. You get a child coming, it schedules and things like that. Everything changes. It's malleable. I will try, though, to do the normal Sunday show. On the 22nd of February, by hook or by crook, I'm planning to do a special live stream, as well as a very, very special political video announcement. Cross-platform, you're all going to want to tune in. You should all share it out because it's going to be extremely meme-worthy. It's going to be very fun, full audience participation. So keep in mind, on the 22nd, that is, of February, so a couple weeks from now, there's going to be some shenanigans, and not the bad kind, from Super Troopers. So yes, I will get off now so that I can do a million other things, including vacuuming. I'm really looking forward to that, as you can tell by the look on my face. That's about all. Peace out.